Alright, today we're going to be jumping back into the Bitcoin price action to get a grasp on where Bitcoin is likely to go here in the near future and warning signs to be looking out for to make sure we are staying vigilant in the markets here. Alright, so starting off here, we got a nice simple view of the charts here. You can see this is the volume profile of the range we have been making. We did go ahead deviate to the downside, but as I was saying in my last video covering the charts, I did expect this to get back above, confirm within the value area low, just making this a deviation. If we go to a weekly time frame, you can see that the support we found was on the bull market support band, so testing that historically has been extremely bullish for Bitcoin. You can see price action is looking real similar to this last range we had down here when the last ETF came out, with that weekly close back within the range. Now we are just struggling with the point of control of the range. Let's get in here to a shorter term time frame and see what actually is going on within the chart. Let me get rid of this bull market support band. You can see we did have a swing failure pattern of this sweep level I've had in my chart for quite some time. This is a liquidity zone, so it made sense for that to kind of act as resistance. You can see, this is another level you could have taken as well, and as you can see in a 4-hour time frame, we swept both of these liquidity zones. There was a lot of euphoria after getting back within the range, so to come up here, swing these highs, grab those over exuberant, longs and that sort of thing, to then rotate it back down real quickly makes a lot of sense. The big level I'm going to be watching out for is these highs up here. As long as these don't get swept, I really can't be bearish whatsoever. Now looking at the downside, where could we find support? Well, jumping over here to the levels chart, you can see here I marked out this green box. I don't know if we'll actually get down to it just based on what price is doing right now. The low might already be in, but just in case we do, this would make a lot of sense. A lot of fair value gaps, vector candles throughout this range. It's also your golden pocket. If you pull fibs from the top to bottom, you can barely see the fibs down here, but I swear they are here. You can see the fibs there. So, you have that as well as previous day point of control, that sort of thing. So you have a lot of volume within this range, a lot of imbalances. Could make sense to come down to that $60,000 for a bullish correction there. But if you do look at where we are on the price chart right now, we did sweep liquidity to the downside. If you just were to take this low right here, swept that, got back above our weekly and daily value area low, so we could see this act as the low coming in here for Bitcoin. But once again, we have liquidity down at this low as well as a fair value gap, so could come down and grab that, as well as this low here coming down into that golden pocket, which I think is your bigger level. I think that's the only place I would be taking a long, right? If we got down here, that could be a potential long opportunity. Anything up in this range is just kind of guessing, and we'll see how it plays out. So yeah, that definitely could be the low though. So I would not doubt if that was, and I still think it's a very good time to be buying altcoins if you did miss the low over here, because total 3 does look really good, holding this value area low of the range, previous, bull market range. So I do expect altcoins to at least make it up to here, and that's worst case scenario where we don't even break the highs, right? We just come up, test value area high, and then go down. Just the fact that we are finding support on these previous volume levels tells me this is your target for now. So that's where I expect the altcoin market to go. We'll see how it plays out though. Even if Bitcoin does distribute here, I think alts are going to go on a massive rally here. I think altcoin season is starting to begin right now, as I talked about in my last video covering the price charts. And since we're off of Bitcoin real quick, we'll jump over here to the S&P, and you can see this is something else that coincides with my bullish sentiment. You can see we have just now broken out of this wedge we had on the S&P, right? This was a bearish structure. I'm sure a lot of people got trapped shorting the bearish retest of this structure. I've consistently been saying I did expect this to break to the upside, and that is what we're seeing right now. Currently, within this last hour or so, breaking out to the upside. Let's see if we can back test it as support and go for those all-time highs. And then, once we're at these all-time highs, that's where you got to be vigilant. Let's see if we do swing fail it, or if we can get a clear break through those all-time highs going on our next parabola, right? Our next line of attack, which I do expect to be more violent than these last two. Jumping in here, pulling our lines of attack, right? What is the parabola about to do? Well, as you can see, price is continuing to follow this even steeper angle of attack. So if price were to keep up, this is what we're looking at on the S&P, full on blow off top. This is what I do expect to happen. And when we're in this range is where you're going to have Bitcoin go absolutely crazy, because it's a risk on asset, as well as your low cap stocks should start running, and then of course altcoin season and that sort of thing. So yeah, S&P continuing to follow this line of attack I did cover in my last video, like, are we in the roaring 20s? Go check out that video if you have not seen it. I do cover more of this stuff here and why I think, you know, we are going to go ahead and have this big blow off top here. But yeah, S&P looking extremely bullish. Let's jump over here to the DXY, the dollar currency index. Bitcoin is inversely correlated with this thing. We did go ahead, break down. Could this be like a double bottom, like kind of formation going on here? It could, right? If we were to see that pull back to like $60,000 Bitcoin, this could be a catalyst for it. If we were to just go test golden pocket once again, you know, we have a lot of volume within this range, so could make sense to go ahead, test that on the dollar before rolling back over, as well as we are just struggling with an hourly EMA right here, so it could roll over now. So we'll see what happens with the dollar there, but overall, definitely more on the bearish side, which is good for Bitcoin. I don't really expect this to get back above and flip the golden pocket into support, but if it were, you know, that's something to be looking out for. And now what I want to go ahead and do is look at our order flow, right? Look at some advanced stuff in the charts. As we can see here on Bitcoin, up at the top, we did have a big short on Binance. You can see that's 1.1 thousand Bitcoin short right there at the top, right at the highs. Couldn't even get his order filled, so he had to start pushing down these limits. So there wasn't too many buyers at the top side here. We did have a lot of sell pressure, as you can see here on CVD. We had open interest going up, CVD going down, so there was shorts at the top here on Binance as well as Bybit. So you did have selling pressure here with really no buyers, and that's what caused, you know, the swing fail of that level, right? It did fail to claim it. But as you can see, as price is coming down, shorts are not opening, right? This is open interest falling. These are just longs closing out of their position on both Binance and Bybit, which is not bearish. You don't truly have any sellers right now. The only sellers was back up at this like swing fail level, which was a, you know, kind of obvious short if you were trying to trade that. So, you know, outside of this deviation, this is all longs closing, which is good because that means there's really no momentum to the downside. And after those liquidations do occur, you will have momentum resume, pushing us back up. We just got to squeeze those longs, and that's why these liquidity levels are so important, right? That's why we found support at this first level, because all these stops at that low were taken out, and once the stops were taken out, we instantly resumed back above. But could we go ahead and grab more longs? Yes, I mean, there's still longs open in the market, so just be watching out. We could go sweep, you know, any of these levels down here. Makes a lot of sense, but seeing that shorts are not opening throughout this range here tells me we are still bullish and it's nothing to worry about. So yeah, everything on the chart is looking really good as long as we can hold that like 60K level, go ahead, get back above this daily EMA, and then we will start hunting for these levels, and that's where it gets kind of sketchy. It's like, hey, are we going to swing fail these and head on down? Or are we going to continue up to $100,000 Bitcoin? And I do expect the latter, just based on what the S&P is shaping up to do, which is that like blow off top. Let's see if we do get a parabola similar to like 2017, which I have covered on this channel, on why I think it's very possible that Bitcoin does act more similar to 2017 than compared to 2021. So if that were to happen, six figures, you know, $200,000, not out of the realm of possibility. So let's see what happens here with Bitcoin. Real exciting times. Altcoin season is beginning to start, and I do think we'll be seeing some really nice gains throughout the next couple of months here, going into, you know, September and fall, which is when I think we really do have to start worrying. But as for now, I don't think it's quite a sell in May and go away type event happening here in crypto. The charts are not telling me to sell in May, so I wouldn't worry too much as of right now. But of course, none of this is financial advice. And if you do see in the description down below, I did add some links, some affiliate links, just for TradingView and Trading Light. This is TradingView here, obviously, right? Everybody uses it. So if you do have a, you know, monthly membership or something like that, or you want to get a monthly membership, use that link. Fresh accounts will get $15 off their first monthly, you know, subscription. It does help support the channel, as well as I have a link for Trading Light. This is the more like advanced software that you do need to pay for. If you do go ahead and get it, get the gold version, not because it gives me more money. No, I get the same amount no matter which version you get, but gold's going to have all the features that you really need if you are going to like trade crypto and that sort of thing. You get the actual perpetual exchanges, which is what you like need. So yeah, if you do want to get Trading Light, I do got a link for that in the description down below. That also helps support the channel, and I do use this stuff myself, right? I've been paying for these softwares since before starting the YouTube channel, and that's why I feel fine. Link them down below. I'm not trying to milk my subscribers or anything. I'm just linking stuff that I personally use and support. So yeah, I just wanted to mention I do got that stuff in the description down below, as well as I do have my Discord link down there, so make sure to go hop in the community. That is completely free. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.